So clap. This is on the true nature of stress. Hey guys, this is Jared again. Good to be here with you. Today I want to talk to you about the true nature of stress. So stress has become kind of a bad word for a lot of people. And we talk about getting stressed out or managing our stress. But in reality, stress is not really an unhealthy thing. What we find is the way that we view stress is actually where it can become unhealthy. A number of studies have been done, and these are studies that are longitudinal studies. Longitudinal studies are studies that follow someone's life throughout their whole lifetime until they die. And so they're very powerful studies. And a lot of these studies look at if someone has a stressful life, are they more likely to have more problems or even die early? Well, what the research says is if someone has a very highly stressed life, they do have about a 40% higher chance of dying early than compared to people with less stress. However, what they started to do is look at the reasons behind that. And so they started looking at not only did the person have high stress, but did the person believe that they had high stress, and did the person believe that the stress was harmful? And that's where it started to change things up. So when we started to look at, does a person believe stress is harmful compared to someone that just has high stress and does believe stress is just normal, fine part of life, what was the differences? This is what we found. People that had the highest levels of stress but didn't believe the stress was harmful actually had the lowest rate of dying or having problems. And so this was mind-blowing for a lot of researchers. They're like, oh my gosh, for so many years we thought stress itself was the cause. Stress itself is what related to health problems and so on. But what they found over and over again, it didn't matter if someone had high stress or low stress, is actually their beliefs around stress. And so if someone believes that stress is happening all the time and that it's harmful, then that person will actually get the negative effects of stress. So what does this mean? Well, they've been looking at this, and they found that the beliefs of stress actually is one of the top 20 killers in the US. Not stress itself, but the belief of stress. So what I think about is I go back to my basketball days back in high school to think about how to view stress differently. And maybe if some of you were involved in sports or something like this, but anytime I was right before a game, we'd all huddle in as a group, we'd pump each other up, the adrenaline would get going in the locker room, and we'd run out to the game. There was definitely a stress response to that, the adrenaline, the getting pumped up, etc. But I don't think anyone would say that type of stress was negative. It was actually quite positive. It got us ready for the game. So you got to understand that stress in and of itself, the definition of stress, if you look at the various American medical associations and other associations out there, look at it as the body's ability to be ready for action. That's actually what stress is are we ready for action? Can we respond to things in our environment? And so in many ways, stress is not a bad thing. However, if we start negatively thinking stress is a bad thing, then it starts to become unhealthy. So this is the challenge. As you go through the stresses and challenges and difficulties of your life, don't think that the stress itself is the thing that's harmful. It's more your attitude. It's more the way you look at it. If you can see stress as your body's ability to get ready for the challenge, to get ready to accomplish, to get ready to overcome, it actually becomes a very positive thing. What we find is when the body has this mindset that stress is a courageous, overcoming type of thing, the arteries in the heart and throughout our system actually expand, which is very healthy. When we have a negative mindset about stress, the arteries and everything constrict, which leads to cardiovascular and other problems. And it's not the stress itself, it's the attitude, it's the belief. So if we have this mindset where it opens up our arteries, this courageous, overcoming attitude, it actually matches the same emotions as joy and courage. And so stress becomes a really great thing, something that helps us once again get ready for action, meet the challenge. So that's my challenge to you. Consider how you look at stress. Consider how you might look at it as something to help you rather than hinder you. Thanks, my friends.